Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing really great. So today we're doing a tier ranking video. I saw Chloe's, I think it's called Books with Chloe, I think her name is, do like a manga, comic, graphic novel recommendations. And I was like, whoa, that was so fun. I want to do one too, also because so I can get recommendations from you guys. But then I don't feel like I have enough knowledge on this like genre to like full out recommend something that you haven't heard before, because I think that the ones I've read are pretty popular anyways. So instead I decided to do a tier ranking of graphic novels, comics, and manga all in one. So this way everything that lands in the speechless is basically a recommendation. And I mean, everything that's in lovely and art is pretty cool too. So yeah, let's screen record this shit. She's recording. This is what I am thinking. The first the tiers, there's 6 tiers. The first one is speechless, which is like best ever. Lovely is like very touching and I liked it a lot, but not my favorite. Art is like, the art makes it so good that I would definitely recommend it. So I think all those top 3 are like recommendations, you know? Then we have something that was a lot of fun, maybe a bit simple, and then we have pretty good, which is like, it was pretty good. And well, explanation. And then we have could use some work and meh. I don't have like any like really this sucks tier because I love graphic novels, manga, comics. I love it so much. Like there's nothing that I hate about it, you know? So meh is like, it's pretty bad, but you know, meh. The first one we have here is Full Metal Alchemist, and I've only read the bind up of 1, 2, and 3 for this one. I thought it was okay. I'm gonna put it at fun for now because it was fun. I think I gave it 3 stars. That's pretty much 3 stars right there in the middle. But I don't really have so many thoughts around it. Actually, I'm gonna put it at pretty good because I think I wanted to love it more than I actually did because everyone talks about it a lot. I think I wasn't so into like the super kawaii like expressions when I read it. It was like just not my thing, but I'm definitely gonna continue, and I got the second volume of the 4, 5, and 6 one, so I'm gonna continue. It might get better, but just the premise is really cool. Then we have a big one, Death Note. I guess we're starting with 2 manga this time. Manga is definitely the genre that I have the least knowledge of. Just keep that in mind. So Death Note I'm gonna put on fun because I think the beginning is really amazing. I love the beginning. It's like the first 4 maybe novels, and then they go to the US and something else happens and I just don't like the character that's swapped out. I hope that isn't too much information. The ending, like the last novel, is pretty good. Then we have Adventure Time. I do realize I'm probably gonna like downgrade everything after a while. Maybe Death Note, because Adventure Time. I'm gonna put Adventure Time at lovely. It is not my favorite thing, and it's definitely like directed towards children, where it's super simple, it's very easy to understand. It's just like very innocent and wholesome and very Adventure Time. But it's a little bit more boring than the actual series, so I'm gonna put it at lovely because it's not my favorite. I think I read the first 3 of them. Then we have Saga. Saga we're putting at speechless. Saga is the best. I haven't talked about it in a really long time, but Saga is just really amazing. And I love just like the whole thing where it's not the baby that's narrating, but this girl is talking about how she came to life, how these 2 people who were on opposite sides of a war had a baby. She was created in space, and then you follow her journey like when she grows up. And I just think that's really beautiful, and I just love it so much. It is so good. It is also very adult, but I just love the art, love everything about it. This is making me want to reread it so bad. Then we have the gigantic beard that was evil. So this is a weird one where I thought I loved it much more than I did. Like when I think about it and I think about the ending, it was just really clever. But then I looked at Goodreads and I gave it 3 stars. So that is confusing to me. I don't think the art stuck out a lot, so I don't know, I don't want to put like art, but it's definitely better than fun. Like I feel as if it's better when it's, you know, when something like, I'm gonna put it lovely. It was lovely, it was great. I think it's in a recommendation zone, but it's not an art zone, it's not speechless, so I feel like lovely is a pretty good place to put it. I just about this man that just his beard keeps growing and growing, and I think there's a twist at the end that was just really great. If I remember correctly, it's like a huge one though, and I actually found it at like secondhand shop, and that's why I ended up reading it, just because the actual thing costs a lot of money, but I didn't support the artist, so feel very conflicted about that. But then we have Sky Doll. This is about this sci-fi world where there's these dolls created as like sex toys, and you're following one of them that kind of breaks from the norm, I guess. This is a bind up, I think. It's called Decade, so I don't really understand how to read these books. There's more of them, but I just don't think I'm going to continue. The art is really good though, but it could definitely use some work. I'll put it there, but the art is really cool and the story is actually really great, but I feel like there was a lot of things that could have been worked on. Maybe it should go to pretty good. I feel like it's maybe more in pretty good. I don't know. We'll put it in pretty good. I changed my mind. Pretty good. Then we have Battle Royale Angel's Border. So this is kind of like a story within a story. So you need to have read Battle Royale before you pick up Angel's Border. And Angel's Border is actually really repetitive, but you still should read it straight after the book. So I'm gonna definitely put this on could use some work. I don't think it was pointless for me to read it, but also it's a manga. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's a standalone and it's very short, and it's a girl on girl romance that I really appreciated. I didn't see that coming after reading the book, but it totally makes sense when I read that. So that was really fun. Then we have Nimona. So Nimona, I don't like it as much as other people do, but I think it's really cool, and I love Nimona as a character. She's just crazy, and I love how her hair switches and that she can turn into like different things, and that she actually really wants to be a villain. I'm gonna put it at art equals googly eyes, just because I think when you look at the work put into this, like the quality of the paper and just like the colors and the art style and just how funny and brilliant it is, it's definitely art. I think this is, I'm gonna do something controversial. Can I edit this? I could. I just did that. So that was awesome. I'm putting art above lovely because I think I appreciate the art so much that it's above lovely, and I definitely think Nimona is over Adventure Time and the gigantic beard that was evil. I did not know I could do that. That was really fun. Can I change the colors of that? Oh my god, I just changed the colors. Who knew? So easy. Okay, then we have Wayward. So this is one that I read yesterday. Wayward Volume 1, String Theory. So I've only read the first one. In this one, it's like 5, 6, I feel like, and I only have 2 at home, but I've only read the first one, so please keep that in mind. I'm going to put it at art equals googly eyes. It's not my favorite, but it's a very high 4-star. It's like 4.7, you know? Like, it's really good. It's super action-packed, but it's not confusing. It opens a lot of doors to things that can happen, and typically this type of book where there's like so many creatures, it's really inspired by Japanese mythology, and there's like a ton of Japanese mythological creatures in it, and they're all introduced like really quickly, and this friend group is formed kind of like, I want to say like X-Men or like the Fantastic Four or something. They have like different superpowers, but it's just really fun, and I really liked it, and I'm so excited to pick up the next ones. But it was just weird because I thought that type of thing would be overwhelming, but it wasn't. So that's cool. Then we have Space Dumplings. This is also like very middle grade. I feel like it's about this girl who lives in space. Her father gets fired, and these whales like are eating loads of things, and she ends up having to save her father and stop these whales, and it's just space whales. It's pretty funny. It's like very directed towards children, but it's still like a graphic novel, and it was fun. It was cute. I'm gonna put it at lovely. Lovely or fun? That's a hard one. The art is really good, so I'm gonna put it lovely for now because it's better than Death Note. Okay, I'm looking at this, and I feel like this is better than I was doing my series one. I feel like a lot of people got upset about my series tier ranking video, and I do see why, because I was pretty harsh towards some of them, like typically Percy Jackson. But I feel like it is accurate. It does make sense to me. We'll see tomorrow or in a month. Then we have Marceline Gone Adrift. This is I'm actually gonna put it at fun, but above Death Note, because I really liked it. It has like a very simple plot, but it has a lot of fun elements, a lot of like Easter eggs type of things. It's not as good as like the Adventure Time ones, but I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I read it. It's like one story separately, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, I do wish it would have explored more the relationship between Marceline and Bubblegum, because it is a part that like everyone writes fan fiction about, but it's not like explored enough beyond like the last episode of Adventure Time ever. Okay, then we have Rick and Morty. Now I'm gonna break some hearts. It is pretty good. It's above Full Metal Alchemist, but I love like Rick and Morty, the TV show, so much is that reading this is a little bit disappointing. It definitely is as good at like the storyline of it, but there's a lot of text, and in the TV show it works because when you listen to something it goes quicker than when you read it, it goes quicker. I don't know, for some reason there is a lot of text. And the art style is very rushed. Like sometimes, this isn't a popular opinion because I do feel like when they create so many pictures of the art and everything, I don't know, the expressions, like there's something about the way they structure their faces that is just not fully Rick and Morty. Like I feel it's like a bit rushed. Yes, then we have Paper Girls. Paper Girls either goes, I think I'm gonna put it at Speechless as well. I love Paper Girls. It's definitely complex. Like it's about these four, I think, girls in the 80s that they get together because they all have to hand out papers to the doors. They're not initially friends, but then all of a sudden they get caught up in this like time war, and they just don't know what's happening, and they just get transported and meet all these people. And I read them kind of when they were released, and I really wish I would have read it all together. So it's definitely not above Saga, and maybe if there was a tier between Art and Speechless, like I'd put it there. But I definitely want to reread it so I can get like the full scope of things. Then we have White Sand. I'm gonna put White Sand on fun above Marceline Gunner. Can I do that? Hello? Hello? Do you not want to? Okay, there we go. It did not want to go above Marceline. So this is White Sand by Brandon Sanderson. I've only read the first volume, which I'm ashamed to say because I've owned the second one for quite a while now. But this is like a Cosmere universe novel. I think the world is really brilliant. The magic is really brilliant. It's kind of like a Dune sort of world where one half is dark and one half is desert. And I loved it a lot, but it definitely needs some work, but it does not fit and could use some work. The art style is really different. The boxes are very different. I think the world building is fantastic. Now that I'm talking about it, should it be in lovely? But it's not lovely, it's fun. That is confusing. I'll put it at fun for now, but it probably deserves to be higher. Then we have Monstrous. I'm gonna put Monstrous as art. Wow, I really like the art in Monstrous. It's really different and it's really gruesome. The world is super big. There's a lot of history. There's a big, huge cast of characters, and I do feel like I'm getting stressed out by the fact that I haven't picked them up in a while. Like there's just so much, and I wish that there was a little bit less world building and complexion, just so you can like enjoy the story a bit more. And those are my thoughts. Then I'm gonna put Snot Girl as meh. This is one of those where like the art is so amazing. The idea is super cool. It's about this blogger who like has some allergies, so she's just constantly running snot, but what she's putting out into the world is just beauty, 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 face, 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 fashion. But it just makes no sense. It is so confusing. I didn't get it. It's what? I finished it and I have no idea what I read. Like it was just a lot. All right, then we have My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. This is a manga. It was the first manga I've ever read. It's actually a biography or memoir. Memoir is what you say, about the author Nagata Kabi, and she writes about her story with, I'm starting to say about like Canadian way, because I've been listening so much to Books Unbound and it's just messing with me, and now I'm saying about. I don't know. Whatever, let's move on. I think this fits in the lovely category above Adventure Time because it explored motherhood in a very interesting way. It was very dark. It's like trigger warnings for like eating disorders and self-harm, and it's just like went places that I didn't expect it. I picked it up because the title sounds really funny, which it does, but it's definitely not a funny book, and I'm gonna continue. I have the first official novel. I think that's called My Experience with something, I don't remember, but I've only read this one and it's kind of like a standalone. Then we have Groot. Groot. When I read Groot, I gave it 5 stars. I really loved Groot. It has a really funny plot. Groot is like my favorite character pretty much ever. I love him so much. This is the only Marvel comic I've ever read. I should probably read more because I love this one so much. I really wish there's more, but I don't think there is ever going to be. This is the bind up of the first 5 ones. Speechless, no. I'm gonna put it at art, under, before Wayward, after Nimona. I think the story is really fun. There's a lot of characters. It's really quirky, and that's that. Okay, then we have Taproot, which I also read recently. I've never heard of this. I picked it up randomly at my SFF graphic novel comic manga bookstore. That's a lot. I feel like this video has been going on for a long time, but you get a lot of information. You get a lot of information, so it's worth it. So this is a boy-on-boy romance. It's also like, what is that called? It's not called necrophilia. What is it when like a person falls in love with a ghost? Anyways, that's what it is. I liked it. It's cute, but it's very, I don't know, it's either it's pretty good or it could use some work. I do realize I gave it 4 stars just because the artwork is really good and the colors are really nice and the story is there. It dragged on a bit like after the climax. That was like a little chapter that was like afterwards, and I felt like that was maybe unnecessary. It's above Sky Doll. Is it? I'll put it at fun because it was definitely fun. I do have a complaint on this that I've never had before, but the brush that was used on the line art was just weird, and I didn't like the choice of brush, which is just very specific. Then we have Onyx Sunbeam, My Baby by Tilly Walden. This is all girls cast, girl and girl romance. It is speechless. It does make me completely speechless. I love it so much. It's definitely my favorite graphic novel. It is massive. It's like 500 pages plus. The artwork is just mind fucking blowing. And the color choice is just amazing. Like, I would get a tattoo of some of the artwork in this. The story is great. The premise is great. It's about the spaceship that travels around space fixing broken buildings, and you get to follow this girl that jumps between perspectives of her high school life and now, and it's just really good. It's so good. Clearly, we're doing space today because my top 3 speechless are all sci-fi so far. Okay, then we have Fake Blood. Fake Blood is also one I read recently. It is really great. I gave it 5 stars, but it's technically not 5 stars. I'm gonna put it at lovely. When I say like it's not 5 stars, you can still trust my opinion just because I enjoy graphic novels so much that compared to like another book, it is 5 stars, you know what I mean? But within the graphic novel genre, it is lower, but I love just reading graphic novels so much that almost like most of them are 3, 4, and 5 stars, you know? And I like the artwork, I like the references, I like the plot twist, I like the characters a lot in this one this. Then we have Steel Prince, and I've read the first 2 bind-ups of this. This is a really hard one because I like reading them, but they could use some work. I'm gonna put it above Angel's Border. It's not quite there. The art is really great, and I think the stories are there, but they're actually really short comic books, and I kind of wish that they would have been a bit longer. Then we have Sheets, okay? Sheets, I'm gonna put at art equals googly eyes, because I'm gonna put it above Nimona. Nimona actually has a better plot, but Sheets' artwork is just like, the art is just so amazing. The artist recently posted like this picture on their Instagram, and I asked how long it took her to make it, and she said 10 to 12 hours. And this graphic novel is just filled with images like that, and this probably took her like 10 years. Like, I'm amazed. I don't get it. Just so starstruck is the word. I think this artist is just really great. I can't wait for the next novel called Delicates. I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, then we have Heartstopper, which I am putting on meh. This is so overhyped and I just don't get it. I don't get the hype. The artwork is super simple. It has like so little text. Literally it says on the cover, it says like, I don't know, boy meets boy, boy falls in love, something like that. And that is everything that happens in the book. It literally, in 3 lines on the cover, they sum up the whole plot of this entire book. And it's like, it's one of those phenomenon where I literally think people like, they think it's cute, they want to support like a boy on boy romance, and therefore they're like, oh, I love it, but it's not that good compared to like Only Sunbeam. Like, it's just, I don't understand how people can give this like 5 stars. Like, I think the second novel has like a 4.5 rating, which is insane. This drives me crazy. This like physically hurts me. Like, I understand everyone can just like what they like, and I'm super happy that this book like gets a lot of recognition. But for example, okay, Taproot it's so much more work put into it. No one talks about it. And I just do not understand what. Let's move on before I go crazy. Then we have, what is this one? A guide to, I don't exactly know what it was, guide to queer and trans identities it is. This is the only nonfiction, I think, on this list. And that definitely goes on Speechless. This is basically just a guide to queer or trans identities. But it's so important, it's so cute. It's this little snail basically educating you on all these terms, on both gender and sexuality and all that. It's just really good. I wish everyone would read it. The colors are really great, just really fantastic. I thought it was really cute. Then we have Vey, which is a Swedish graphic novel. There's 2 volumes out, and there's definitely only going to be 2 volumes. I've actually talked with both the authors, and I got to meet them, author and the artist, and they're just really nice. I really like those people, and this is not one of those things that just because it's Swedish, I am like saying it's really good, because it's translated to English, so you can read it if you want to. It is a Nordic mythology inspired, it's Nordic gods, I feel like, inspired fantasy graphic novel, and the artwork is really amazing. The artwork is really amazing. This is one of those things where if this was released in English, or if it was like an English recognized author, like this would be so popular, but it's not because it's Swedish. But you can get it if you want to. This is really good. I'm going to put it next to, it's probably above Sheets, to be honest, because Sheets has some problems with the pacing, but Vey does not. And there's a character inspired by Violet Chachki, so yeah. Okay, then we have Waves. Waves is a memoir, a wife and a wife who are trying to have a baby, but it doesn't always work out the way they want. It's super sad. It made me cry, and it's only 86 pages, which amazes me. There is this world that's illustrated from the main character's mind. That's this like sea of books, and that part was just really lovely. It's not real. It's just like in her mind how she experiences things. The use of color is really great. There is super few words. It's very like a snapshot type of graphic novel, but completely worth reading. I'm gonna put it above Fake Blood because it's just really lovely. It's possible I gave Waves 4 stars and Fake Blood 5 stars. Just a lot. Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. I'm gonna put Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me on Speechless. It's the only young adult contemporary that I'm gonna put up there because it encompasses sexuality in such a great way. It's not a topic in this book, like gender and sexuality is not a thing, but like everyone is queer, which I just loved. I love it when a book isn't necessarily like a coming out story or someone coming to terms with their sexuality. I just really like it when everyone's queer and they all accept it like it's natural, which it is obviously, but a lot of people, there's no like resistance against that, and I just really like that about this book. There's also a part where like her toys and her teddy bears are talking to her, and if you guys don't know this, I love teddy bears. I have so many. I sleep with every night. So I just really love that element. It was really fun. So I really liked it a lot. So then we have Are You Listening by Tilly Walden. This is her other book that I read. She has more, but now things are getting a little bit complicated because Are You Listening has just as great art as On a Sunbeam, but story, it's like magical realism. I'm doing this a lot. Apparently I'm missing my Italian friends. If you're watching this, hi. If you don't already know, I go to a dance school and like 50% of the people there are Italian. Okay, so Are You Listening? I'm gonna put Are You Listening above They because the art is really great and I think the magical realism element is handled really well, but it doesn't reach the speechless in any way. Like, I wasn't overwhelmed by how great this novel was, and I think in many ways, like, as Sheets blew my mind more. But the story is much better in Are You Listening? The story is really great and has really cool, actually, like, just cool queer representation. Then the last one we have is Ananya's Ghost. I feel like I gave this 5 stars because I think it has a great message and it's technically perfect, but I think it's also like very formatted and in like a start, climax, middle, and finished great. Everyone's happy in a very typical way, and it doesn't really break the norms that much, but it is really great how it talks about Anya, who is Russian, but she's trying to fit in so much with her in her American high school, and I think that is really great representation. I'm gonna put Anya above. This is hard. Okay, I'm gonna put My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. I'm gonna put it down to Under White Sand. It's not necessarily fun, you know, because it's very dark. It definitely deserves to go down a notch. Then Dumplings. I'm also gonna put Dumplings down above White Sand for sure. I'm struggling with this tier. Above White Sand, I think. Or is it? I mean, White Sand is like adult and Space Dumplings is young adult or like middle grade, so it's different. Oh, that's so hard. It's completely different genres. The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil, I originally gave much lower, but I remember it pretty good. But all of these are really lovely. I think the lovely tier looks really nice. I mean, technically Taproot is really lovely, but it doesn't deserve to go above like White Sand, you know? I mean, they all deserve to be in the top tier. Art. I think all the art ones are good. I think maybe Groot is not typically known for its art. So I'm gonna have to put that down. I'm gonna put it above Adventure Time, but under Anya's Ghost. Also, Anya's Ghost is a really great like paper quality. I really like that. And it's black and white, which fits it just so well. Then Saga, Paper Girls, On a Sunbeam. Those are definitely my favorite graphic novels and comics. No manga there yet, but we can get there. I believe in you, manga. Oh, there is one that I have forgotten, and that is my Frankenstein. I have a Frankenstein adaptation by Ito, who is Junji Ito, that I have read, and it has a lot of like short stories, manga. I would probably put it at art, but at the end if I included it, if you want to know about that. I'm gonna say this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me if you agree or disagree with any of these. And sorry about the mic, man. I'm not used to it because I need to read them all. I just want to read all the graphic novel, you guys. I love it so much. Discovering graphic novels has literally changed my life. Amazing. So I hope you enjoyed. Comment your favorite graphic novels down below, and I will talk to you guys soon.